Hello and welcome back to Woodhill Park. Hi, my name's Graham, not Fat Man. Hello again and welcome back to my layout, Woodhill Park in the loft. Pretty warm up here, but I have done a few more bits and pieces and I thought you might like to see what I've been up to. Also, hopefully you enjoyed that intro, as it's now been 4 years since I started this layout, and watching some of that you can see how things have changed over the years. I've been working on my diorama and test track and completing it really, if you can ever complete something. I've been adding bushes and I've been improving on the grasses that I've done by grassing it more at the front and making it more of a lush pasture. And as I say, been making bushes, so I'll show a little bit of what I've been up to, actually sort of adding fauna and more grass to it. But I think it's finished now, so you can see for yourself and see what you think, and any comments are always welcome, as long as they're clean and, well, constructive, I suppose is what you would say. But thanks very much for all your comments over the last, well, few years, you might say. And I try and answer them all, and I'm running out of things to say as usual. Oh, I nearly forgot to say that I've got a bit of a running session with the Class 60, and that's not the Class 60, that's the Class 37 going past. The Class 60 just trundling by, a little bit of a running session. Plus I've got my new DVT for the 225, because I bit the bullet and just bought one, even though I did do an update with the lights and that. So that's going past at the moment actually over there. And yeah, I opened the wallet up and I bought the DVT. So I'll get on with the film. I think we'll start the update with a little running session of this new Class 60 that I bought, and the train that it's pulling, as it now looks quite good on the layout, and I enjoyed weathering this train. So after this I'll show you how I finished the diorama. I also took the brave step of weathering my new Bachmann Class 37. I did have a lump in my throat when I weathered this, but I did want it to look a bit more realistic than it did. It did look too much like a toy. So I went easy on it and only did a light weathering, but it's now made it look much more realistic than it did. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I can always add to it in the future. I'm now getting very close to finishing this little diorama, and that is if anything can ever be finished on a model railway, which is usually not, because you can always think of extra things you can add. But I've been looking at the front sort of pasture here, and I'm not entirely happy with it. I feel it needs to be a bit more lush, as a lush field, so where it's a bit bald here and there, I'm going to add some more grass and try and fill it up. Well, that's the theory anyway, so that's what I'm going to do next. So here goes. I'm now going to try and add some watered down PVA between the grass where there's too many bald patches really for a lush field that I'm looking for. I might need to spray some IPA to actually make it sort of displace. So just going to go around and do a bit of this, then add some more grass. I don't mind if there's the odd bald patch, but I thought this needed to be a little bit more lush than it was, just to differentiate between the embankment and what is a field full of pasture for animals. Right, I'll get the static grass out, the applicator, and it's a blend of, I'll find out what it is a blend of actually. It's a blend of spring grass by Model Scene, and with a touch of just green in it by Model Scene, and a little bit of late summer grass as well, also by Model Scene, just to sort of give it a slight different colour as well as a lush green. So hopefully it will give the effect that I want. But here goes. Now that's starting to look quite lush, and that was the effect I wanted. It's also, as I'm adding it after the walling I've put on now, it's sort of building up along the wall and the fence and starting to look like it's sort of overgrown rather than, you know, rather than the fence being put on top of the grass is growing up what was an existing wall. And I think that looks a bit better. And I'm doing the same up this end, as this would be another field over here, and I want it to look very similar. Make a mess. Yeah, right, I'm set to add some more grass at this end now. Well, I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to clear this up a little bit, and then I'll just give it a final spray with some layering spray, I think, just to set it in place to make sure it stays where it is. But I need to clear up all the loose. This is just layering spray by WWS. I put it in a little spray bottle. Yeah, I think it was one of my daughter's hair shine products, and I get a nice fine spray out of one of these. Looks a bit white now, but once it goes off that'll be totally clear, and it will hold the grass in place, just in case some of it is not that well glued down. Just need to leave that to dry now and don't touch it. I'm just leaving it to dry, but spraying the layering spray on top, that's given it an interesting effect. It's giving it a look like there's a dew on the grass, which is quite interesting, but obviously that's not going to stay like that. That will go clear and it will just be bright green grass, lush pasture. Hopefully that's what I'm looking for, but all the same quite an interesting effect, and it almost makes you think maybe you should be looking for something so you could reproduce that and it would stay like that as a sort of a dew on the grass. Gives quite an interesting sort of, as if it's early morning. Strange that. Well, the tree's falling over, so I need to put the tree up right. Hopefully when that all dries, that'll be even more pleasing to the eye than it was, and I'll be able to call that finished then. Well, finished for now. It's basically all about just getting layers of things together to create depth in a scene. The more you add, the more sort of three-dimensional it becomes, and varying colours and shapes helps a lot, and draws you into the scene and just gives it a little bit more realism. So just keep adding stuff, seems to work. If it doesn't work that well, I added some bushes that the colour wasn't right, they were a bit too lime greeny. It was leaf, I think it was medium green leaf foliage by Gauge Master, but it just didn't work. So I took these bushes off, and it helped so much just not having them on the scene. It seemed to be better to have more sort of medium tone bushes, sort of dark greens and sort of limey greens. Well, not limey greens because the limey green didn't work, but more of a yellowy green really. Anyway, you'll see in the bushes that I've made, and you can see for yourself whether you think that they look quite good. But yeah, staying with sort of not too brighter sort of foliage helps a lot, but you do need a blend of different colours to give it depth, and that's what I've been trying to achieve. And with every sort of bit of trial and error, you seem to get better at what you're doing, and this has been a great test piece, and I've enjoyed doing it, and I've learnt a lot. And should I apply it to the main layout, I feel I've got more confidence now in what sort of colours I would use. I mean, the embankment I chose to recolour a bit with a bit more harvest gold, which is a burnt grass, just to show that near the track would be not so lush and probably burnt away with the sun on the embankment, but as you go down the embankment things become a bit more lush and green. It just varies things, and as I keep saying, creates depth and interest. So hopefully you think it's an improvement, and it's an ongoing improvement for the future as I keep improving my skin. For the time being, I've now finished this test track in Diorama, but I just thought of one more detail that's missing, and that's a height sign on the bridge. So I've gone and printed myself out something, and I'm going to carefully glue it in the centre of the bridge. Probably going to fall off, but hopefully it won't. Probably need to add some more glue behind it. No, it didn't fall off, well not yet, but I will add some more glue to it. Now it looks a bit more like a finished bridge and landscape. I was watching a channel called Mouldy Raspberry, which I often do, and I think the guy who runs it, his name is Lewis, and he mentioned this stone walling, as his layout is all based in the Yorkshire Dales, I think it is anyway, and it's a superb layout and amazingly accurate and just blows your mind away. But his stone walling, I think initially he made it out of cat litter, because I remember watching one of his previous videos, but he purchased this walling from a company that escapes me at the moment, and he put it in his More tab, and I thought I'd give it a go, and I'm really impressed with it. It really is good. You can bend it about, flex it around things, and it looks just like stone when it's in place. So I've used it, and I'm, as I say, very happy with it. So I'll try and zoom in a bit and see if you can see it a bit closer. Going in that close, I think that gives a good impression of what it looks like. Amazing stuff. that's it for this one, and thanks again for watching. Thanks for all your comments. I do read and reply to all of them if I can, and it's very much appreciated, plus ideas that you give me and your continued support in watching this channel. So see you next time. Thanks again, and bye for now. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed that look back at my layout over the last 4 years. It's scrap that, somebody marching around on the gravel outside. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed that collection of old and new footage. Why is it every time I try to talk to the camera, everybody goes silly out there? Somebody jumping up and down the gravel, then loads of cars go past revving their engines, right on cue. Gonna try again. And also some of the cement tankers I've got that I use with it as well. I also sort of bit my lip, and well, I also, God, I just can't get it right today.